So Troy, we want to get your opinion first of all on the Kylian Mbappé saga. Obviously, with France and Real Madrid, he's not going through the best of times. So, first of all, what are your thoughts on his current form?
It's probably not been anywhere near what we'd all expected. I thought personally when they got him, I thought that was the missing piece. A bit like when City got Haaland. You'd expect him to score a lot of goals and them to be more or less unstoppable. What I think's happened is, again, I don't know this to be factual, but just looking at it, my opinion is that his ego's gone before his actual work ethic. So being at PSG, he had the freedom to do whatever he wanted.
Big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, and also I think the expectation wasn't as great because they were always going to win the league, if you get what I mean. So go to Real Madrid, there's obviously Barcelona, there's Atletico. There's the expectation you win the league and you win the Champions League. And I think at the moment that's just weighing a little heavy on him. I also, it's going to sound really nice, I don't think he's a natural striker. And I know it sounds mental.
Yeah, but he said that himself, hasn't he?
Has he?
He wants to play on the left.
Well, he can't. Vini Junior's there. So in that situation, that's a massive mistake from Real Madrid because they're just going. They've gone for a name which sells shirts and the brand as opposed to what makes them win. So maybe he's going to have a little conversation about probably playing on the right.
Do you think that was the right move, though, for both club and player? I know it was a free, and it was his dream.
Well, if it's his dream, he needs to start playing through the middle and actually learning to stay outside because the one game I watched against Barcelona, Jesus Christ, he was offside about 9 times. It was like you're rapid. Like it really irks me when players that are quick, especially probably because I'm. But when you see these guys who are quick, they just don't bend their run or arc their run. It's like they're over eager. So in that regard, it needs to. If it's his dream, it needs to drop his ego and work a bit harder.
And you say they're like fitting him into the team, play on the right, but what does that mean for the likes of Rodrigo, for Bellingham? Do they sort of go by the wayside sometimes?
I think the only two places on that team you say he can't take is Bellingham's and Vinicius Junior, and not in that order. It's Vinicius. It's his team, and he's delivering. So like Rodrigo has played through the middle a few times for them last season, and maybe he has to figure it out, but. There's one man who can make him figure it out, and that's Ancelotti, probably the best manager around at the moment, man manager around at the moment. So they'll figure it out, but they need to be careful because Barcelona are doing really well. Really, really impressed with them.
And if maybe Kylian Mbappé isn't the best striker in the world right now, who is, in your opinion?
Depends what you look for. Best goal scorer, I'd argue, is Haaland by a country mile. It depends what you look at in terms of potential. I like the kid Thuram, Inter, but he needs to realise his skill set is he's rapid and stop trying to take everybody on like it's an under 23s game.
Yeah.
But there's loads of good strikers. Lewandowski, Harry Kane, obviously they're all around in that conversation. But the obvious candidates are the ones I've spoken about.
And good you mentioned his name there because it goes on to our next question about Harry Kane. A lot of talk about his England future. Obviously, on air, you've just spoke about that as well. Do you think it's time for Kane to maybe hang up his international boots?
No, what are you talking about? He got dropped for one game, man, and we're all like, get rid of him. He's still Harry Kane. He's still very good. He's still England's top goal scorer. Didn't hear this debate about Rooney when Rooney was getting extra games. I certainly didn't hear it about Bex when he was clocking up the games as a sub and stuff. So, no. I think what Lee Carsey did was understand the team that was needed for that game. And sometimes Harry now will have to get into the uncomfortable position of being old, which is what happens to all of us. And games where he still thinks he can play and add value, the manager will think differently. But you've got to get your head around that very quickly. But no chance. If you said to me now, with the current crop of strikers we have, and we were losing Harry Kane going into the World Cup, are you confident we can win the World Cup? I'd say absolutely not. No one would. So it needs to be there.